What it do, soul fam? Welcome to K&M Witchery or Readings by K&M. That's me. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know, and I would love to welcome y'all to your spiritual check-in. Now, that is essentially just a fancy way of calling it a general, timeless collective reading. Now, the overall intention with these readings is to offer y'all clarity, healing, and practical spiritual guidance towards your personal evolution. So if that tickles your fancy at any point, if you align or resonate, please remember to give this a like and definitely subscribe, because it's a totally free way of supporting me. And you'll also be joining a very powerful soul family. So be sure to comment your resonances down below as well, because this way you and I can keep in touch too. And without further ado, let's dive. Oh, I heard this one too. Let's dive right on in. What is going on with my soul fam at the point of y'all tuning in? So, front and center when it comes to your mental and emotional states, I'm feeling y'all are ready to push forward. I heard, give me something new. I am tired of going through the same types of cycles, and I want to move forward into happiness. And I just keep hearing something new, something revitalized, that you are grown now with the Hierophant out here. You have learned your lessons enough for them to please. I just hear someone praying to God, to the universe, or whomever, whatever, respectfully when I say that, to just help to move on, to allow karma to be cleared. I heard, I have learned. What else is there for me to learn? Careful what it is that you ask for when such questions arise, my dear soul fam. Because with the Knight of Wands here, right in the middle of your reading too, when it comes to your mental and emotional states, is that you might be feeling very impulsive. So because this Knight is also running, this could mean that there could be some avoidant tendencies, like whatever it is that has come up, you might be running away from, to be like, no, I've already learned this. I don't want to have to learn it again, right? But nevertheless, the Sun card is also out front and center. So this is something that is absolutely to be taken into high consideration. And I'm curious if perhaps some of my soul fam could in fact be avoiding and running from something that could in fact be the happiness that they have been praying for. Because sometimes our powerful unconscious mind will choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. And so let's say this has to do with a career, and a really great opportunity has landed at your doorstep, and they're like, soul fam, you're the one. We want you for this role. You're gonna go, well, I don't know, I've already learned this before. So, from this kind of role and these activities, even though it's something that can seemingly be really happy this time around, I'm just gonna go towards what it is that I have learned. It's like, what I'm saying is that sometimes our happiness is disguised as a quote-unquote repeat pattern without it actually being a lesson, but rather a karmic closure. Rather, it is in fact happiness. It's like, the easiest example is in love. People would literally run away from someone that can in fact give them what it is that they're really wanting and desiring and praying for in a partner, because they've learned within past relationships that, eventually the butterflies dissipate, which, by the way, butterflies, it's not actually what it is that you think. Butterflies are a signifier that something might in fact be wrong. The right person will bring you peace, right? So when this peaceful person comes along, you go, no. I've learned my lessons. This can't be it. There's a bit of like a denial factor that I'm feeling here, even though you have in fact really migrated to a point of you've really learned your lessons, okay? So that is one thing that I don't want to take away from you. And yet there is still some point of happiness that you are avoiding because you're misinterpreting it as a lesson that is bound to repeat itself. But the question here is it? Or perhaps maybe we ought to practice our discernment a little bit differently so that perhaps maybe we can run towards the happiness, trusting that everything we have learned and all the wisdom that we have acquired through repeat karmic lessons and changed behavior and therapy and healing, however it is that that applies for you, that you can in fact move towards the happiness instead of the other way around. There seems to be a question here of whether something is right or wrong. And I am really feeling like it being something to do with either jobs or relationships. So pending on who it is that I'm speaking to, y'all can let me know in the comments down below. But it's like, say you have started in a new job and you're finding it still stressful to a point, you know, like perhaps maybe, I mean, more money, more problems kind of mentalities are really high here. Okay, thinking and understanding that a position at a higher caliber will come with a greater workload and thus more stress. There's less work-life balance and all of that. And so you're running away from that or complaining about it. I am kind of feeling some people are complaining about their current circumstances, or they're just doubting it. Like, did I really choose the right path? Like, did I say yes to this job because I really wanted it? Or did I get fooled by the bells and whistles and sunshines? And it's like, oh, but have I really learned? Did I really learn anything? So fam, judgment in the very middle of your reading here is telling me that there has absolutely been a grand rebirth that has occurred. When judgment, especially in the middle of your reading, comes out, tells me that you, soul fam, are in fact ready for whatever happiness is, if not here, coming your way, whether it is in a form of a relationship or career. And that is because you have in fact learned from previous experiences. The thing is, though, is like, I feel as though a lot of y'all tuning in right now are stuck in between two places, who it is that you were and who it is that you are becoming. And that person in between is still figuring things out. It's like the experience after an ego death, when you have to literally relearn who it is that you are, because suddenly you've noticed your interests have changed almost drastically. You're not watching the same types of TV series as you used to, or listening to the same kind of music in many ways. Perhaps maybe you have no interest in spending your time in a particular way that you have created a full routine around once upon a time, but now that you have transitioned because you have had enough of the quote unquote BS, I'm trying to be YouTube correct. I swear a lot naturally. So anyways, because you have put in the efforts and changed, you're in a place of discomfort and absolute questioning. Meanwhile, soul fam, there's really nothing here for y'all to run away from. Instead, you're creating issues, problems, scenarios where perhaps they don't exist. And we're going to touch on this Eight of Swords and Ace of Coins energy in just a little bit. Because what I want to focus on is in this middle row right here, right? We've already touched on the Judgment. So there is a great alignment to the becoming. Like, you're enjoying, hopefully, the process of becoming the person that you are hoping yourself to be, the one that you have prayed circumstantially will change and thus allow in your life circumstances, okay? We are touching on the King of Cups energy, where there is peace and stability in things that had perhaps maybe been uneven and unrocky. Like this man is literally chilling on what seemingly could be an ocean, or at least a great big sea with that ship in the background there, just on a chair chilling, with no care whether or not a wave is going to come about and topple him right over. No, he is embracing the chaos almost in a way. And cups here signify the emotional body. So where you had once found chaos, you are now finding peace. Okay, now let's talk about the 10 of coins, which, by the way, I did hear the question telepathically. The middle row here is telling me more so about your human experience, what is happening in your physical realm right now, okay? And it's increasing its level of stability here, right? With the 10 of coins out here, you're noticing a better relationship with your family or friends, perhaps maybe with your immediate family. I did just see 1111 on my clock, by the way. So you're seeing a lot of synchronicities really bringing you towards a state of peace. Things are aligning better for you right now. Perhaps maybe finances, if this is in fact job-oriented for those whom it does apply, you're finding that the paychecks are actually coming on in to help you, right? What it is that you had once prayed for, soul fam, is here. You are living it. The stability is there. And yet what we're seeing below the surface there, and perhaps maybe even in your unconscious mind, is this doubt. We get so used to the chaos in our lives, soul fam, because it's predictable. And your mind loves what is predictable because it removes the nuance of the unknown, right? We fear the unknown. But the thing is that you've learned. So now you do know. But what it is that you know is now being questioned. Did I make the right move? What if it's not going to work out? Maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I should never have said yes. And yet everything else around you is seemingly falling into place, almost like a wish come true. But yet you're doubting this opportunity. Now, I am going to bring in love into this too, because again, although this is very much financially oriented right now and finding safety and stability in perhaps maybe your income, in what it is that you're doing for work with the Emperor here, the household that you are building for yourself with the Four of Wands, like you want more stability, okay? And it's being represented here beautifully, especially as the first card being the Sun. Are you kidding me? This is the brightest, happiest, most illuminating, naturally it's the Sun card in the entire deck, overlooking all of this. And yet right where the shadows meet is your doubt. Perhaps maybe you're keeping yourself up late at night thinking this is too good to be true. However, can this person actually love me? There must be a catch. Maybe they're cheating on me. Maybe they're seeing somebody else, because like this person coming into my life, giving all of this attention and love and space and respect, and they're doing nice things for me, things that people have never done for me in the past. There must be something wrong. Or is there? Is it just simply that the uncomfortable zone that you're in right now is truly the happiness that you have been praying and wishing for so long? If we change the story just slightly and realize that you are living a life that you had once prayed for, perhaps you will begin to open up your heart a little bit more to understanding that you deserve this. You have always deserved this. You are worthy of this happiness, of this love, of this abundance. And yeah, sure, there are layers of discomfort here that you want to run away from because it's new. right? It's like the probation period in a new job. It's 3 months of confusion, especially the first few weeks in a new job where you're learning an entire portfolio or a client base or just job performance in general, how it is that they do all of their programming or their finances or, I don't know, sales pitches, whatever it may be. There's a level of unknown in this, and you are learning. You're essentially creating a new comfort zone. And it's only uncomfortable right now because you haven't learned enough of the new stuff. With judgment here, it kind of puts an end to the old karmic stories, the old ways of being and functioning that you have evolved out of. I have evolved. Say these words, I have evolved. I am living a life I had prayed for. It is here. It is now. And yet your mind, which is a very normal thing to do because your mind is only programmed to keep you safe. You're only feeling uncomfortable. So yes, this may be a public, general, timeless reading on YouTube. But if you want something precise and concise to you, knmwitchery.com is where it is that you will book with me. And we can have a more in-depth personal reading for you in your own circumstances. And we can tie into what exactly it is that is holding you back. What limiting beliefs are rearing their little face up to be like, oof, I don't know about this. Whatever this opportunity is for you, it is now being grounded in love and in abundance and in happiness. I know that this is a coin, but a coin is in reference to the physical body. It is what is in the here and now. It is manifest. It is tangible. You can hold it. Whether even it is a love, you can hold this person. You can hug them. They're here. They're tangible. You have proof of your communications on your phone, text messages, that is tangible. Your work, you get the checks. It is tangible. You're sitting at the desk. You can feel it. It is tangible. Y'all feeling me? And you have built this version of yourself. Now, this bottom row here is more so spiritual messages that are coming through, perhaps maybe unconsciousness, things that spirit really wants you to know and be aware of. And a simple reminder that you are building, you are living in the life that you had once prayed for. All of that work that you have put into yourself to be in a hierophant position requires layers. But you hold the keys right under your belt. They're there. I am hearing a lullaby in my head right now, so you may have children. And you may be perhaps maybe thinking about putting them to sleep or something, because I don't know, my nose really itched on that. Or perhaps maybe you're requiring something different for yourself if you are without children, and that doesn't necessarily apply to you. It could just be that you're seeking other forms of, I guess, like sleeping arrangement and sleeping measures, like the way that you're falling asleep now. It could mean that you are finding more peace as you are falling asleep now, and that is kind of having you question your sanity because you may be used to staying up until 1, 2 a.m. stressing about your life and your tomorrow and what's going to happen, but now you find yourself falling asleep at around 12:30 more peacefully, and you're getting a greater night's sleep, and you're not used to this new comfort and happiness, and so you're looking to create chaos and thinking about different ways that you have to be very wary of right now, Soul Fam, about potential self-sabotage, right? Because this Knight of Wands energy, the way that it's being depicted and read in this reading today is a sense of avoidance. It's almost like carelessly running away from something. Like, we're just going to avoid the happiness because It can't be real. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to be engulfed and thus trapped in something. It's never going to work out for something or someone like me. Cancel, 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 cancel all of those frames of mind. The avoidant runs from the potential of being hurt, of being abandoned, of being rejected, of being used, of being disrespected. And so they're more keen on self-sabotaging it and being like, oh, I never wanted this job anyways, or I don't really love you, or you're finding something that could be wrong with that partner, or creating stories. As I said, maybe you're thinking that they're cheating on you when what they're really doing is planning your next date. You know, like they could be really into you and you're sitting here going like, no, 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 no. This can't be real because I have decided so. But that narrative is in your past for the most part. It's just rearing its head in right now because the judgment is whether or not you are now ready to receive what it is that you are praying for. This is a choice, soul fam. One thing in all of my readings, regardless of how much of a fortune teller, etc., I am, okay? My clairvoyance does absolutely tag in a lot of accuracy for future states. And despite the accuracy, I always include free will because it is your choice, soul fam, to accept, to work, to rest, to reject, etc., etc. So no matter what wonderful predictions are lying in and around the corner for you, if you choose to self-sabotage, that's your prerogative. But then we mustn't sit here and say that good things never happen because the fact is you're unwilling to run towards it. So I really want to flip this around. Allow all of those hard-earned lessons, but essence really came out here. So there might be something about essence here for you, okay? Whatever it is that you have learned, move towards the happiness. Trust in yourself, soul fam, that you have developed and acquired enough discernment to recognize when something is truly bad for you and continue to choose happiness, continue to choose peace, even though happiness and peace is a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. Matter of fact, a lot of times people misconstrue peace as boring because they're so used to the chaos. My bad for all the background noise. My window is wide open. And so just like the car rustling their way down my block, move forward. Because why not? Why not, soul fam? Why not believe that it not only has worked out for you, but it's yours now. It takes practice for you to get comfortable being bored, coming home to no problems, no one hounding you, no one disrespecting you. Perhaps maybe you come from quite a narcissistic household growing up, as an example, and you're used to the gaslighting, the chaos, the hypervigilance in and around other people's emotions. Because your state of peace is highly impacted by whether or not somebody else is happy today. And so it's difficult for you to find your own footing, and yet you're walking into a household with a partner that loves you, a job that pays you very well and is respectful for you and to you and appreciates your workload, and you're sitting here going like, no, but it can't be right. I don't know if I made the right choice. Well, soul fam, what if you had made the right choice? Can we sit and marinate on that question? And even if you're not exactly where it is that you want to be in the end, at the very least recognize that you are still so much more of the person that you had once wished to be. It may not be the final end goal, and that is okay. It is actually healthy, and it's okay to want more. I know sometimes people feel very guilty about it too. Like, this isn't really enough, and I want something greater, better, a higher pay, whatever it may be, okay? That's a very normal way for us to evolve. Once we obtain one thing, we would like to continue moving forward. Oh my goodness. It was very distracting for me. So I gave it a moment of peace. And I think that this is a really nice metaphor, like that car that like whatever. That was me mocking the engine, I guess. That could very well be your thoughts and your discomfort with peace. And notice how fleeting it was. When you just allowed it to come up to your forefront and still chose to find the peace in the potential chaos, trusting that you're going to be balanced. It's about opening up your heart and recognizing where it is that you are, as opposed to looking for things that aren't working out. Because guess what, Soul Fam? If you're tuning in and you're still here, it is working out. So work on offering yourself the right types of affirmations, the right types of tools and taskings that will allow you to feel safe and comfortable. Perhaps maybe give yourself a little bit more TLC, okay, tender love and care. Give yourself some more self-care. Take more bubble baths. Go for more walks. Like, why not dive further deeper into the peace and learn to really enjoy it? Because the more that you allow yourself to truly believe that you are safe within the peace, the less these thoughts and feelings are going to keep coming on in to ruin the day and make you feel like running away from the happiness, but rather towards it, as we had flipped those two cards to represent there. You know what I'm saying? Because you are well on your way, Soul Fam. Matter of fact, perhaps you're already there, and it's just a matter of allowing yourself to accept it. And yes, hardships will exist, Soul Fam. C'est la vie, I just heard. That's the thing that keeps the ball rolling towards our evolution. And Soul Fam, perhaps this point in your life is simply about accepting the joys and the happiness that are rightfully yours, because you have gone through enough to now be able to embrace the joys and the happiness and the abundance and the love and all of that stuff. Because why not? When it is going to be your time to continue on this path of evolution, you will be made known of it. The point is to stop creating problems where perhaps they currently aren't existing. Now, this is, of course, again, a general reading. So take only what it is that resonates. Listen to your gut. If you're truly feeling like your circumstance is wrong, then please trust your gut and seek the right resources and ways to get out of a difficult situation. This is for those whom are finding difficulty in accepting peace because they're so used to the chaos. So my best advice is to sit in the peace a little bit longer. Listen to the birds chirping. Sit outside for 5 minutes with your eyes closed and your phone far away and just exist. And perhaps tomorrow you'll go up to 10 minutes, 15 next week. Lo and behold, you will be spending an hour a week. being present and in nature and grounding yourself and finding peace in that. Because you're now prioritizing it. It is part of who this new version of yourself is, and that is somebody who welcomes in peace. You've been praying for peace for so long, and now you have the opportunity to embrace it. So soul fam, give into it. These thoughts and limiting beliefs are very normal as a part of the transition and rebirth that has already happened. You don't know peace as safety just yet. But I hope that this reading helped kind of change a little bit more of that perspective and know that this is just simply an opportunity for you to invite and embrace and live in more of what it is that, again, you have prayed for. The message is now consistent and on repeat, and I did hear my snaps, so I will conclude it. Let me know how and if this has resonated or motivated you or inspired you to perhaps maybe go out there and, like I said, sit and listen to the wind and the birds a little bit, okay? And enjoy your life a little bit differently, even if it's uncomfortable for a little bit. And let me know how that goes. If you want something more precise, concise, again, knmwitchery.com. If you want something that will continue on these collective unconscious readings, there is no extended here, but there is a ton of information that is constantly shared over on my Patreon. So the link is down below should you ever be interested in joining the Soul Fam on there for weekly insights on energies and how it is to remain aligned, any other insights, fresh tidbits to continue to help you find that clarity that you need and healing and soulful evolution. You are welcome. Otherwise, I do hope that you subscribe and join the tribe, and I hope to see you all in another reading. Thanks so much for being here today, Soul Fam. I appreciate your presence. Now go out there and be the peace that you have wished for in the world, because you deserve it. Thank you, Soul Fam. Peace.